Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in. So today I'm actually feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty inspired here, and I'm coming to you with a review that I'm actually pretty excited about. This is one that I actually reached out to them because if you've been watching my channel for a while, well, you'll know this is bike related, and I bought this 2018 Harley-Davidson Heritage 114. I've had it for a year now. I'm daily commuting on my bike here in Arizona, and it gets pretty hot here. So over the course of the last year of riding, I've started to notice just some overheating issues, and more or less when I get into high traffic situations where, really just stop and go rush hour type stuff. I did want to find a better cooler, and a lot of guys are going to say, well, there's an oil cooler on there, so why would you have to go through an additional effort? And in my opinion, it's a little bit misleading that the motor they say is oil cooled, and it's really a passive cooling because when you're up to speed, it's running air through that radiator and it's working. It is cooling that oil off, but the problem is there's no fan on it. So when you get down to low speeds, that radiator really becomes, well, almost useless. So the other thing I find interesting, and I'll pop the diagram up over here to show you, if you look at the diagram, they show that the oil comes in through that oil pan, goes into that oil pump, and then it is dispersed throughout the motor and also then sent through that oil cooler separately, which the oil runs through that oil cooler and then pumps up through the heads of the motor to cool off the heads, and then it makes its way through the rest of the motor. So that oil that is going into that factory oil cooler is never really coming back out the other side to benefit the rest of the motor. It's going through the head, where at times that head's well into the 300-degree range, and then coming back out, and it's incredibly hot again. So after I really got into that, I started looking for additional oil cooling. I found this ultra cool. I reached out to them and said, hey, I would love to do a sponsored post because I really kind of think I need this, and let me see what it's all about. I'll put a video out and share it with my viewers. So here we are. Now, the way that this oil cooler works is it does actually attach at the oil filter. So any of the oil that's getting into the oil filter that then goes out to the rest of the motor is actually getting actively cooled. And by actively cooled, it kicks on at 210 degrees, and then it'll run until it gets back down to 195 degrees, or just keep running to try to keep the oil cool. And what that's doing now is actually pumping that cooler oil through the rest of the motor, which helps. It's more of a liquid cooled. In reality, it's still oil cooled, but it just helps keep the liquid that's the only liquid pumping through that motor at a cooler temperature, thus keeping the motor cooler in theory. So now I have this additional oil cooler on my bike, and I also have the passive oil cooler on the bike. So in my opinion, here in Arizona especially, it is worth it. So what I did for this video, and I'll walk you through the install, I'm going to do that kind of at the end. I know a lot of people tend to go real heavy into the unboxing and the install and all that. Anybody who wants that information will stick with that through the end of the video. I'm not going to hit that with you up front because I think that the discussion more about how these bikes work and the cooling capacity and what the results were with this is really the interesting part that if you're looking into this, you'll then follow through with the installation. So the testing that I ran, I went to Amazon, where I typically go for everything, and I found a deep fryer thermostat, which is super long and would work for this test. And what I was doing was I would just ride the bike throughout the course of the week and stop and take some temperatures. One day I rode, it was 95 degrees outside, and when I got home from work, I took that temperature reading, and what I found was the oil was at 230 degrees. Now this particular ride was 25 minutes, my typical commute home from work, which involves starting about 80 miles an hour. It's usually a pretty quick shot for the first 15 minutes. And then I hit a little interchange where it might slow down to 30, 45, sometimes a quick dead stop, but then you're kind of moving again. Nothing real crazy. It's still, again, it's only a 25-minute drive, even in traffic. So when I got home and I took that reading and saw 230 degrees, that was kind of staggering because I know that I've been in much worse traffic on hotter days where the temperatures were over 100, And I can only imagine that oil probably does get up to the 250 range, and maybe even north of that. I don't have any proof of that, but the readings that I took on a 95-degree day, 230 degrees. So I then went and installed this ultra-cool oil cooler. The test I ran today, incredibly promising. And what this test entailed was riding 15 minutes from my house with the bike started up cold, figuring by the time I got to where I was going, 15 minutes of riding, it's pretty well at temp. I rode 15 minutes to a high school. It's a Saturday, nobody's there, so I had the whole parking lot to myself. Now, what I did when I got to this school was I just snaked back and forth through the parking lot for 10 minutes, and I did not get over 10 miles an hour intentionally. And every time I crossed the midsection of the lot, I'd stop for a 3-second interval and then start moving again. In my opinion, that is a good simulation of getting stuck in kind of a pretty rough rush hour type situation where you're under 10 miles an hour for at least a 10-minute period. So when I ran that test today, I was really surprised by the results. What I got was the oil temps, when I came to a stop after 10 minutes of running, were at 210 degrees. So that is a 20-degree drop from my previous running on a 95-degree day of just a 25-minute ride without really being stuck in too much of a slow situation. So I know and I can vouch for the fact that this oil cooler from Ultra Cool definitely makes a 20-degree impact, and I think it might even make a greater impact than that, being that I think the situation that I ran today was more strenuous than the situation where I got the 230-degree temperatures previously. So I am incredibly happy by these results. So with that being said, and me saying that I definitely would recommend this, I'll just jump right into the unboxing and show you guys how this thing comes packaged and then how easy it is to install. And really, it is pretty simple. So the first thing you actually pull out of the box is just kind of the hardware portion of it. And the first thing that I notice is it actually comes with a tool for tightening down the oil lines. And that's just a small detail that I really appreciate because, well, that's a tool I don't have, and I would have had to make a special trip or start cutting apart sockets that I already have. Just, it's nice that they included that. Small details that, to me, make a big difference. And the next thing you pull out is the stainless steel oil lines. They are nylon coated black, so it matches my bike. They do offer this kit in a black or chrome, depending on which bike you might have, so it matches. And then the next thing to come out is the actual oil cooler itself. And then you have some more mounting hardware. The next thing I kind of didn't realize, and when I was researching these things, I did not realize that they actually send you a serviceable oil filter. And at first, I was really actually uncomfortable with that because I've never had one before, and I've never even really looked into them before. And at first, I kind of thought that just it doesn't sit well with me. But I started researching these Flow filters, and they have incredible reviews. So at first, I thought, well, I'll just set this off to the side and run with a regular oil filter and just kind of pretend like I didn't get it. But with the reviews and the way that everything seemed to be with these, I said, all right, I'll run with it and see how it goes. So this is my first experience with a replaceable oil filter. So I'll probably revisit that at my next oil change and do a video of that just to share with you guys kind of how that works and show, I guess, what it picks up in that filter. So that's pretty interesting. So with all that being said, just unwrap the oil cooler here and show it to you kind of in a controlled environment in the studio here, and then we'll take it out to the garage and start installing it. So let's just go ahead and get out there and start putting this thing on the bike. So being that my bike was due for an oil change, this kind of worked out good for me. I was able to do the oil change and put this oil cooler on all in the same shot, so it was really convenient. So I jacked the bike up, link for the jack in the description down below, Amazon affiliate, shameless plug. Do not use an impact on it. It broke it. But it's actually a really good jack otherwise, and they tell you not to use an impact. But I was super impatient. I did it anyways. And it went up fine on the way down. I actually, being that it was an impact, it just backed the whole assembly out. But I fixed it. It's working okay. But when they say don't use an impact, they mean it. Follow the rules. Next, drain the oil out, and for the person who actually just asked me, I forget your name, but the person who asked me to do an oil change video, this is pretty much it. There's not a whole lot to it. You drain the oil out and then swap the filter. So if you're interested in an oil change, here you go. Now the next tip that I learned is With the oil filter being tucked back behind that radiator that they have on the bike, I went to the grocery store and bought some heavy duty tinfoil. If you're going to do this trick, use heavy duty, don't use regular. It's going to rip and create a mess. So the heavy duty tinfoil trick works great. I've done it 3 times now, and it's worked like a charm every time. A little bit of oil you have to clean up, but that's, I think, standard with every oil change. So when it comes time to actually start installing this oil cooler, you want to mock it up and get it kind of roughed into where it needs to be on the actual frame rail itself. And you also need to half remove the factory or the OEM oil cooler that's on there. It's just a matter of disconnecting. There's a bracket on the front that needs to get loosened up. You pull that off, and then you can actually kind of pop it up out of its little rubber mounts and just pull it out of the way. You need to do that because it's really tight in that area. So you just got to get it pushed out of the way. Once you have it out of your way, you can then really get everything snugged down where it needs to be. You can tighten down that oil cooler and get it in the position it has to be. Make sure that when you're doing that, before you get it tightened down, that you have it in a position where when you're turning the handlebars that nothing is going to hit, because it does get close, and you need to make sure that the clearances are appropriate before you tighten it down. I mean, you can adjust it afterwards, but just make sure and be aware that where that is, and make sure that you're not hitting anything. Next step, you have to get into the oil filter, and remove the one that's on there currently. And then you actually have to remove, there's a threaded stud in there that your oil filter screws onto. You need to actually back that stud out, save it, don't throw it out, obviously. It's a factory Harley part, probably costs $300. So save that part, throw it off in a drawer somewhere. You may need it in the future. And you'll see that Ultra Cool sends you a new stud, and you thread that in, and that is what is going to be used to get everything to fit on there, as far as the little plate that they have that goes in and basically intercepts the oil and sends it through that cooler. So you just thread that new stud in there, Loctite it, torque it down, make sure that you have a torque wrench. That is the other thing that you really need to have in order to do this appropriately. So once you have that plate on there and your oil cooler is all snugged down, then you can run your oil lines. Again, Loctite everything, get it all set up, snugged down. They provide you the little wrench that you need to tighten down those oil lines. Really nice setup. Tighten all those down, and then put your oil filter on. That's it as far as the actual hardware part of the installation. Now we get into the wiring. The wiring, pretty easy. You run it down. In my installation, I just ran it down the frame rail underneath the footboard, and just kind of zip tied it all to the frame. It's tucked away. You really can't see it. It's pretty unobtrusive. And then it runs up into the battery compartment underneath the seat. All the wiring hooks up. It's really simple. They provide incredible instructions, so I'm not going to get into every little bit and piece that you have to do as far as getting these wiring harnesses run. It's pretty simple. So I'm not going to bore you with those details. Now, the little blue light that actually goes up on the handlebars, that little light they provide is really a nice tool, because on my bike, I don't have an oil temperature gauge, so I don't know what the oil is running. So I know when that blue light turns on that my oil temperatures have passed 210 degrees, and I know when it goes off that it's then cooled to 195. So it's a nice way to be able to gauge sort of what's going on just based on that. I call it an idiot light, but it's really not an idiot light, just telling you that the oil cooler is operational. So if you know what the operation specs are of when it kicks on and kicks off, you kind of know what's going on with the bike. With that being said, guys, that is the installation. Super easy. I'm really pumped about this thing. I'm very happy with the fact that I know that it definitely dropped the temperatures 20 degrees at least on my bike. I would imagine it would do the same on other bikes, so I would recommend it. Again, this is a sponsored post in conjunction with Ultra Cool, but my testing is what it is. Really happy with this product. I mean, Ultra Cool, thank you very much for partnering up with me, because this is exactly what I was looking for my bike, and the results proved to me that it really was what I think I needed to keep the temperatures here in Arizona, where it gets brutally hot. I mean, at some points, there's times last year I was running my bike when 115 degrees outside. So it's nice to have this option of an additional active cooling for my oil. And ultimately, it also helps because it's blowing air over the head. So it's kind of like love jugs plus oil cooling, in my opinion. Now, the fan that's blowing that air over top of the head on the motor is not going to be the same as love jugs, because that's blowing it across the motor. This is blowing it kind of over the motor in a weird way. So I don't know if I'm explaining that appropriately, but and the air that's coming off of that radiator is probably going to be in the 200-degree range. So, I mean, it's under the 300 degrees the motor is running at, so it still is going to be cooling the motor, but probably not as far as the airflow itself being from a love jug type of setup. Maybe not as cool, but in my opinion, I'd rather keep that oil cooler than just blowing air over top of the head of the motor. To me, it just seems like it's a better situation. So feel free to debate in the comments down below, because I don't really know. I'm just going off of really kind of what I think and the test results that I've seen. So I'm happy with it. I would recommend it. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Again, this is one that I feel good about. I'm happy about. I'm very happy with this arrangement with Ultra Cool. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please click that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel. I've included all the links to Ultra Cool down in the description below. Check them out. I think they're great. I'll catch you guys next time. See you later.